Today, the crypto market tanks as Mt. Gox Bitcoin payouts begin. And Damien Kieran, the new chief privacy officer at Worldcoin's parent company, Tools for Humanity, lays out how he'd work with global regulators to address privacy concerns tied to the controversial eyeball scanning devices. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Jordan Smith. Crypto prices tumbled throughout the 4th of July holiday here in the US and continue their slide this morning as we end the week. Bitcoin dropped nearly 2.5% as of noon Eastern, sinking to the $56,000 level, and at one point hit its lowest level since late February as it tumbled as far as the $53,000 mark before recovering. Ether dropped 4.6% back below $3,000, and Solana fell more modestly to $134. The drop came as we got both news on the macroeconomic front and for crypto specifically. New jobs data out this morning showed the unemployment rate unexpectedly climbed to 4.1% in June. That's the highest level since October of 2021. Meanwhile, the trustee for the Mt. Gox bankruptcy estate said that it began making repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash to some of the creditors through a number of designated crypto exchanges. Mt. Gox's trustee didn't specify how much money had been transferred to those exchanges. As of noon Eastern this morning, the entire crypto market shed more than $170 billion in combined market cap over the prior 24 hours. That's according to CoinGecko data. For the week, Bitcoin and Ether plunged more than 6% and 11.5% respectively at around noon. All right, let's jump to our conversation with Tools for Humanity. This week, the contributor to the Worldcoin project announced 4 new executive hires, including the first ever chief privacy officer. Worldcoin sparked a lot of concerns tied to privacy over its eyeball scanning orbs. So Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Damien Kieran, who's taking up that new privacy role, about how he plans to help target those concerns.
You are now Chief Privacy Officer at Tools for Humanity, the first person in this role at the company and one of 4 recent executive hires. As CPO, Tools for Humanity says you will engage with data privacy officers and regulators around the world while trying to shape new industry standards for compliance and privacy protections. What are you hoping to achieve in this role? What's your goal exactly?
So really, there's sort of 2 objectives I have. The first is internally ensuring that I make the company comply with privacy and data protection laws around the world, making sure that we have a program in place that allows us to do that. And the second is really building upon the really great work that has been done internally already, but maybe isn't very well understood by sort of consumers or users and regulators. So it's really taking that and giving it a voice externally, amplifying it so people understand the great work that we've done around privacy and security.
Now, I do want to mention you have an impressive background, including serving as general counsel for the photo sharing app Be Real, where you oversaw legal and government affairs. Before that, you worked at X, formerly Twitter, where you were the company's first chief privacy officer, responsible for all matters tied to the collection, use, storage, and sharing of data collected by the social media platform. So what made you want to join Tools for Humanity? What attracted you to the project? And does your new role working with Worldcoin differ from the privacy matters you previously dealt with, or are there some similarities there?
It's a great question. And so I really, I love solving problems that are at the cutting edge of technology and law and regulation. And so for me, Worldcoin and Tools for Humanity was a natural fit. We live in a world where it is incredibly difficult to tell the difference between a bot or a human online, and that's only getting worse. And so as AI and generative AI grows and continues to grow in terms of usage, we're just going to see that problem continue to get worse. And so Worldcoin and Tools for Humanity offers a solution that's going to allow humans to identify themselves online and then be able to tell the difference between a human and a bot in a digital world. So that's an incredibly important problem for the world to solve going forward. And so I'm actually really excited to be part of a company that's trying to solve that. Whether we'll be successful or not, different question, but it's a super exciting problem to solve.
Now, Tools for Humanity is a contributor to the Worldcoin project. And of course, there were many privacy concerns in recent months tied to that project. In fact, in May, Hong Kong became the latest region to direct Worldcoin to cease operations, citing the risk to privacy and personal data. The Hong Kong regulator added that Worldcoin should stop scanning and collecting iris images using its devices, referencing those eyeball scanning orbs. What's your reaction to the latest criticism over the collection, storage, and use of personal data? And how do you plan to target these concerns in your new role?
So I think we need to do a better job at explaining how the technology works and how it's in fact privacy preserving and privacy enhancing by default. We employ state-of-the-art technology in the form of secure multi-party computation, which is a type of homomorphic encryption. And the goal will be for Tools for Humanity and the Worldcoin project to not actually collect or keep any personal data that would allow us to identify you. So if you sign up for a World ID, you would create it, we would scan your iris, but we would never be able to identify you from that data. And so I think part of what we need to do is a better job of explaining both to regulators and consumers how we're delivering on that goal to do this in a secure, privacy-preserving, and anonymous way.
And I'm sure this is a priority for you in your new role.
It's top priority. I think the team here has spent 5 years building what is incredibly state-of-the-art technology and novel, and I've been learning about it over the last few weeks, and it's truly awe-inspiring. We just need to do a better job of explaining that to both the public and regulators. So that's number one of my priorities. And the second is supporting the team internally as we continue to develop and build on what we've already built.
Last summer, the government in Kenya suspended the Worldcoin project following privacy objections over those iris scans. But now we're learning that Worldcoin is allowed to resume operations there. So what will change with Tool for Humanity's Kenya comeback? And will you be a part of those changes?
Look, no one person solves any problems, right? It takes a team and a company to do it together. But obviously, as you mentioned, 2 weeks ago, the Kenyan government did find that there was no basis for the criminal investigation to continue. And so with that, it's opened the path for us to reopen business in the Kenyan market, which we look forward to doing in the coming weeks and months. Our goal will obviously be to ensure, again, that both users but regulators are comfortable with what we are doing from a data privacy perspective. But that won't be just in Kenya. It'll obviously be in other markets in Africa and also beyond.
Now, other recent privacy concerns include those from regulators in Spain and Portugal. How do you plan to engage with data protection authorities in regions around the world in your new role? And how do you plan to manage the number of inquiries the Worldcoin project has been receiving?
So inquiries are not necessarily a bad thing. It suggests that people have an interest in understanding what we're doing. I think where we need to be more probably proactive is getting out there and getting the information out ahead of time before we roll out into new markets, something that we maybe didn't do as much early on. So our goal is not just in the existing markets, but as we enter new markets to engage with regulators before the products are on the ground or the orb is on the ground to make sure that all of their questions are answered. The ongoing investigations, we're working with the authorities both in Europe and elsewhere to make sure their questions are answered. So our lead supervisory authority in the EU is the Bavarian DPA, and we're working with them to make sure that we've answered all the questions that they have on behalf of the other EU DPAs as well.
So in a nutshell, what can people expect from Worldcoin and Tools for Humanity in the near future with you as Chief Privacy Officer and with these 3 other new positions in the mix, which includes a Chief Information Security Officer?
Yeah, so Adrian Ludwig, who's also joined us as a Chief Information Security Officer, it's bringing a depth of experience to the Tools for Humanity team and the Worldcoin project. And the goal is with myself and Adrian here is really just to increase the knowledge that we have at the company in these areas, to build on the great work that has been done already, and then to continue to inform our users and regulators about that work, but also to make sure that we're continuing to push the bar higher and higher. At its core, the project is one that is designed around privacy. And so it's important that folks understand this isn't a cost for us, but in fact, a means to an end. It's actually the nature of the project to be privacy preserving. And so we want to make sure that people really understand that and understand the people behind that project.
All right, that's all for Crypto World this week. We'll be back on Monday with more, and we'll see you then.